Hello there, Boots Owen here. This is quite an old workbench. It's not ancient. It's I'd say it's up for 50 or 60 years, something like that. I've had it for 10 of those years, and I bought it from a chap whose father made it, I believe, a Mr. Fryman of Bredbury in England. I'll take a look at it and we'll think about it, and you can tell me what you think in the comments below. And if this kind of video is what you're after, you know, you could think about subscribing and becoming a member and liking and all that kind of stuff as well. It looks like shit, is what I would say. It's nothing special, but it's really quite clever. And I think all of it basically is handmade. Possibly all of it could be reclaimed as well. So let's have a think about that. The vise is obviously an interesting one, but I'm going to talk about that later. Now today I've covered it in engine oil because I don't use it very often, and it tends to be used for lawnmowers, and I don't want it getting woodworm on it. And rather than paying for a preservative, I took engine oil out of my old Volkswagen Golf, which I've saved for quite some time, and rather than recycling the oil, I just painted it all over it, and it absorbed at least a litre, maybe a litre and a half of oil. And that suits me just fine, because I don't have to recycle it, so I don't have to make another product or have another product made on my behalf, like, you know, wood preservative or wood stain or one of those things, and it keeps that out of the recycling stream. So think about it then. It's a very simple construction. It's basically 3 planks. So this fellow on the back, this one here, and this massive front apron. And if you get in there, you can see the grain on that is really very, very tight. Those rings are very tight, and what I think is that this is old purlins from houses in England, where it would have been old growth timber brought in from America, probably, maybe Scandinavia, but west coast of England, Manchester, Liverpool port, probably came in from America. They're what, 10-inch boards, I think it's 24, it's 72 inches long, 24 inches wide, and it's got this little piece of infill, and you can see the difference in the grain. So look at the grain on that. There's probably a millimeter, even finer out here. This one, it's almost 6 mil, 8 mil a year. So that's some modern stuff, and the legs are made out of that, and I think they're made out of 8x2s ripped down or something like that. They're good. They haven't rotted or anything like that, but they're just nowhere near as substantial as those 3, what I reckon were purlins. Very simple construction, using these big old imperial nuts and bolts, square-headed nuts, just screwed together or bolted together. Very simple, nothing flash about it, but it's the features that this guy put onto it. Here you've got this fellow. Now he had a couple of different vices. So this one would have been for what looks like a 1/2-inch thread. He had a saw vise, and I think it clamped on there and worked up from there, just like you know, for sharpening and setting saws. And then this one, and I don't know what that is. So there's something else that clamped on there as an apparatus. Might have been, I have a notion in my head that he had a router jig as well. I bought his whole workshop 10 years ago. His son sold it to me, and I bought it, and it was expensive, but he had made his own table saw, and it's a kind of a shame I didn't make a video of that. I used it for a few years, and it was wonderful. It had a safety feature. If you lifted the top up, it would shut off and stuff like that. You know, really small, based on a Stanley Bridges, I think something that you attach to a lathe or something like that. He had turned it into a full 2-foot square top workbench made out of mostly blockboard. But it worked really well, and he'd made a mortising attachment and all sorts of treasure for it. The issue really with it was it only had, I think, a 6-inch blade, so it could really only do 2 1/4 inch rip or something like that. But it was all right. He'd made every attachment for this as well, so you can see all these peg holes on the front. He had it set up, I think, for planing, that, you know, you could stack up for planing wood, longer wood, and then you had a bench stop built in here, in there, and that's a simple affair. You need a spanner to open it. It may have been finger tight once upon a time. I've covered it in engine oil. Just touching it was a mistake. Give that a wipe, and that just rises up. The the bench stop on the end. You know, simple features for a bench, but the best bit, I reckon, is this vise, and it can only be homemade, I reckon. And I haven't taken it apart, but we'll have a look inside. The handle's made out of a long piece of something with ends threaded and a nut on each end, probably just stoved over, but they are filed around. You've got a grub screw on each side here, and then within, you can't see it because of that, but there's a shaft running through, big washer, big nut here, and then screw holes to hold in the chops of the vise. I think it's 1/2 inch plate, 8 inches by a foot wide, something like that. It might not be bang on, but it's something like that. It has no quick release, and within you've got the threaded section. Let's focus right in like that, and then you've got the bars on each side. It's not massively solid, but as a woodworking vise goes, it's completely adequate. What he doesn't have, which I would say is the only feature lacking, and you could make it up with the chops, with the inserts of plywood, is that the bottom touches slightly before the top. So you're never going to be clamping anything 1 millimeter wide. You might be, I suppose, but it doesn't have the same clamping force at the top and the bottom. And that's it. Like, that's, I think it's, I don't know where he got the plans for, but he might have come up with them himself. And the other thing it has is it's got threaded inserts here, or threaded holes. Don't know what they're for. Could have been some kind of an accessory on the front. He's also put the central strip a bit lower. It's not big enough to be a well, you know? Like sometimes a bench would have a tool well on the back, and that you can just work really just in the front area. This one doesn't have that, but I just think it's lovely. This was kind of a leftover from the workshop, and I kept it because I thought it's wonderful, and I have a place that I'll use it from time to time. I made a video recently on TikTok about washing machines, and what I do with washing machines, and the same with this vise, is I'll store them in other people's homes, basically. Washing machines go indoors, but this is in someone else's garage, and I'll come and visit it. And if you've got friends and family members, it's a good way of accumulating a lot of stuff without offending people. So I think it's funny anyways. So you can ask friends and relatives who have a shed. You just say, can I put this in your shed? And then whenever you're over, you probably have to fix something or help them out with something, and it's ready to go. You know, if you're cutting a bit of grass for somebody, but you can put the lawnmower up on the workbench, you're ready to go. So that's my trick anyway for storing stuff. But I just think, maybe I've said it a few times, I think this workbench is pretty dandy. So you can imagine that there, you can look at it. The other feature, which I thought was kind of interesting, but it's about transmitting forces, I suppose, and about having a flat face on the front. He's put these extensions on the legs, so they're about 2 by 2 roughly, to bring the front leg out to the front of the apron. Now, I would have thought, if you were going to do that you would put a line of holes up this side anyways, so that if you're planing a door or a panel, you could have pegs for planing in there. You could, so the rest of the door, you'd have it in the vise on that side, but you'd have it resting on a peg on this side. It doesn't have that, so I'm not entirely sure why you want that flush face on the front of it, especially since you don't have the bolt holes recessed on the top, but not on the front. So I wonder if it was built up over time or something like that. Regardless of that, it's well used and well cared for at this point, because I've been using it. He must have used it for years and made other things. He made a much better workbench that I ended up selling, because while it was really substantial and a beautiful workbench, you can see it in an old video where I was refurbishing the clutch on a Brott lawnmower. If you search for that on eBay, or not eBay, YouTube, it'll come up. The other bench was more of an engineering bench, and it had a set of cupboards, set of drawers, and a metal vise. So that was his metal bench. It had a really elaborate mechanism with a threaded rod running the whole length of the bottom, and then 4 wedges that would draw the bench up onto a set of casters. Very simple, but a bit over the top really, I guess. And then once it was up on the casters, while it weighed a ton, and especially when you had it full of tools, it was very mobile in the workshop. Even on a rough surface, it was still quite mobile. So yeah, it's got 2 frames, one on each end, really only held together with 1 bolt each, you know, 1 on each corner, no screws or that. Top's bearing down, 2 bolts, 2 bolts, and then the front's got bolts coming through there and 1 inside. And I'll just have a peep up and you can examine underneath that bit of the back of the vise. It's so simple. It's got 4 bolts holding it on, 1 threaded bar and 2 straight bars, and they have flats on the end, and I think the flats are filed into those straight bars so that you can tighten up the nuts on the front. And I suspect the front plate might be threaded and then the nut locks the bars onto it. I don't know, but it's just so simple. Yeah, very simple. Those pieces of timber, if they are what I think they are, Andy Reynolds would confirm, perhaps old growth pitch pine out of America. If that's the case, they will have been cut around and about 1880, I would guess, from the time the houses in the neighbourhoods were built. That means they're 1880 with that many rings. You're talking trees that were planted 17 something, you know, it's quite a history there. So if you've got videos of things like this or links to things like this, just put them in the comments or tell me about them, because I love something homemade. I love something where you've got these pieces of wood and you're trying to make something and that's how it turns out. It's just wonderful. You know, I don't know what a second-hand vise costs nowadays. I've paid at least like, I've paid bigger money, but I've bought them into car boot sales for £3 and £4 once upon a time for a vise. It wouldn't be as deep as that, but it would be as wide as that with a quick release. You know, something like a Parkinson's Perfect or a Record. This one, it's just class, isn't it? It's just wonderful. Now, I wonder if both plates are mirrors or are identical, and that those 4 bolt holes are actually the same on the inside, and that the back plate is bolted on through them. I don't know, without taking off the chops. I don't know. But I like this old stuff. I like keeping stuff going. I'd far rather keep something on the road than make something new. It just makes so much more sense. You know, the planet is what it is, and we've all been told about the environment, but at a personal level, you just have to keep stuff going and try and manage your own life. That's all you can do. Maybe I've just been rambling on. I like it. I took it out today to put that oil on it to protect it, because the feet sit on concrete and it needed, just the feet needed protecting. But while I was at it, I lashed it all on, because it's not for woodworking for me, it's for lawnmowers, cleaning them, working on carbs and stuff like that. So it just needs that protection, and it needs to last, you know. So soaking it in engine oil is the way to go. Hot sunny day, opens up the timber, dries it out, and the oil just licks straight in. So those will last. This will last forever now. What do you think? Tell me about it in the comments below. If this is your kind of thing, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. Think about becoming a member. You know, I'd appreciate it. What more can I say? Thanks for watching. See you later.